You have pressed the button. Thanks, Kyle. All right. I will wait for the internet to alert me that they are there. So, hi everybody. I think the video has started recording, so welcome back. Today, again, this week, we are streaming live. Thanks very much for watching, whether you're watching live or later. As we get ready to go, we'll review a couple points from last week and we'll answer a couple questions as well that came up. So I see let's see, our pages are loading up right now. Will be just a minute and then we'll get started. So if you're just joining, whether it's live or not live, please make sure to like the video as you come into the stream. That's be super, super helpful for us. So hit the like button as you join, send us a comment when you join too. And we're going to get started in just a minute or two. Hey, Facebook, looks like Facebook is up. I don't see comments yet. And YouTube is up. Hi, let's see, Guillermo is there. Jawad, hi. Okay, good. YouTube chat is ready. Oh, someone has said like on Facebook. Great. So I think that means that Facebook is up. Great. All right. We're going to wait a couple minutes for everybody to join us live, and then we're going to get started on today's lesson. So today our topic is going to be explaining memories, how to explain your memories. So I'm going to explain some grammar points and a few expressions that you can use to talk about your memories. So I thought this would be a nice topic for this time of year, near the end of the year, when we want to maybe reflect on the things we did earlier in the year. So as we wait for everybody, I want to review a couple points from last week. Last week, our topic was cooking verbs. And so I had a couple of questions. Some people asked a couple questions, but of course I always try to include a review from some part of my life, the way that I used the points we talked about. So I always try to include like a tweet or something from Instagram or whatever. So this week, I said, like the first sentence, I said, I launched a cooking project, then immediately got insanely busy and haven't made anything special in weeks. So I talked about cooking, yeah. But here I said, I'm thinking about baking up some lasagna. So we used the verb baking or to bake last week to refer to cooking things in an oven. So I used the word in my everyday life here in this way. In this case, I used baking up. Like we use up after like a cooking or a creation related verb to kind of give the idea, like to give the idea of like finishing something, like to finish up something or to cook up something, to bake up something. So I used it in this way, but with this kind of casual up afterwards. So this is how I used it in my everyday life. So maybe you use some of our words too. But there were a couple of good questions from last week's live stream I want to quickly address. Last week, someone named Dave Molby asked, can the verb blend replace mix in this context? The verb is blend, B-L-E-N-D. Not necessarily. Blend means to mix and to break down, to make smaller, like to puree something or to make a mush out of something. So we can't always replace blend and puree. They're not interchangeable. So that's one. Also, T. Feles asked, what is the past tense of sauté? The past tense of sauté is sautéed. We treat it like a regular past tense verb. So sautéed is the correct answer. Okay, so we are at 4 minutes past the hour, so let's get going. I see quite a few people in today's chat, which is good. I see a lot of you from Brazil, as always. Hi, Pamela. Hi, Patria. Damon, Mauricio, Mateus, Ricardo, Hekmatula, Daniel. Okay. Yes, I know the beginning was very fast because I had a lot of points to review, but I'll slow down now. So let's begin today's topic. If you're just joining, today we're going to talk about how to explain memories. We're going to talk about how to explain your memories. So let's begin. Let's see, Kyle, can I steal the mouse for just a second? Thank you. Okay, we have to share the mouse. Okay, great. Thanks, Kyle. Okay, so we're going to start today with maybe a phrase that many of you already know. The expression, when I was a child. Maybe many of you know the expression, when I was a child. So we use, or a lot of people use, when I was a child to introduce kind of a memory, to introduce something from their childhood. But in American English, we don't often use the word child to talk about ourselves. Like child actually sounds a little bit formal. Instead, it's a little more common for us to use the phrase, when I was a kid. When I was a kid. So kid is a little more casual. Kid sounds like a small person who's just running around having fun. Child sounds a little more formal. So we tend to use child a little less often than kid. We also use the expression when I was little, when I was little. So meaning physically, when your body was little, like you were smaller than you are now. So when I was little or when I was a kid. These are two expressions that we use to introduce memories. So I want to talk about these today. When you use these expressions, when I was a kid or when I was little, you probably need to use the past tense after this. So when I was a kid plus past tense statement, a past tense action, something that you did in the past, something when you were young, when you were little, when you were a kid. So I want to use this as our first question for today. Please get ready to type your comment. So when you were a kid, think about when you were a kid, when you were young, when you were little. What did you do when you were a kid? What did you do when you were a kid? So for example, when I was a kid, I played video games every day. So past tense, I played video games every day. Or when I was a kid, I fought with my brother a lot. Fought is the past tense of fight. So when I was little, I fought with my brother a lot. That's sort of true. Or when I was a kid, I always wanted to eat candy. I always wanted to eat candy. So you can explain a repeated action with this grammar too. When I was a kid, I went to school every day. Or when I was a kid, I played some sport. So what did you do when you were a kid? What did you do when you were a kid? Is our Facebook stream okay? Is Facebook okay? I don't see Facebook going. Okay. When I was a kid, I used to play football a lot. Nice, Sharif. Okay, on YouTube. Great, you're the first one. Excellent. So when I was a kid, I used to play football a lot. And we're going to talk about used to a little bit later in today's broadcast. So when I was a kid, I used to play football. Very nice. Great, a lot of comments on YouTube. So when I was a kid, I played the drums a lot. Great, Vinicius. Carlos says, when I was a kid, I played video games every day. I played video games every day. Caesar says, when I was a kid, I ate a lot of candies. Good, okay. Moni says, when I was a kid, I played a lot. Good, okay. Nataya on Facebook, she asks, can we use when I was a little kid? Yes, absolutely. When I was a little kid, so little means very, very young. So kid means like a young person, but little kid means very, very young. But yes, you can use little kid, absolutely. Okay, when I was a kid, I usually ate too much candy. So not eat. Make sure to use past tense. When I was, your past tense. I ate a lot of candies, okay? When I was a kid, I ate sugar. So please use past tense in this part, past tense here, okay? When I was a kid, I hated to go to the dentist. Good, very nice, very nice. When I was a kid, I used to sing English songs with my parents. Okay, others. On YouTube, when I was a kid, I used to play cricket a lot. Good. I used to play cricket a lot. You don't need every time in that sentence. When I was a kid, I used to, oops, that was too fast. I used to come to the USA. That comment disappeared very quickly. When I was a kid, I had a I had a band and I was a singer. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, good. So this is our sort of review phrase. I think maybe many of you know this expression, but I want to point out that we often use this when I was a kid instead of when I was a child. So please think about this, when I was a kid or when I was little. These two are pretty good. Okay, good one still coming in. When I was a kid, I was a good kid. Good, okay, very nice. When I was a kid, I used to read children's books. Also remember, the plural form is different. Kid, the plural form is kids. Child, the plural form is children. Please be careful of these points. So Just a couple little reminders there. All right, it is 10 minutes past the hour though, so that means it's time for a quick break. So if you joined us last week, thank you. If you joined us last week, thank you, of course. But we talked about, we had this special deal last week, which was a 55% off deal. Like the crew has put together this really cool, like marketing-y, cooly, planny thing that's like every day is a different deal. So last week there was a really popular one that was like 55% off for 2 years on the website. So it's a premium subscription deal and you get 55% off for a 2-year period. So that was super popular. So they planned to do it only once, but I guess a lot of people liked it and wanted it. So they're doing it one more time today. So if you check the link on YouTube below the video or on Facebook above the video, you can see the page. I think you're going to see it in just a second. Yep, there it is. So every day for the end of the year, the crew has been doing these really cool deals. So if you check the website every day, you can see a different deal. But for the people who are watching the live stream only, I think it's the live stream only, you can check the link below the video or above the video on Facebook, below the video on YouTube, and there's a 55% off deal only there. So please, if you're watching the live stream, today is the last chance to get that. So please do check that out. So check the link, definitely grab that. I think it's today only. So please do check that out. Pretty good deal. So awesome. All right. But with that, let's continue on to the next point I want to talk about today. Okay. So if you're just joining, today our topic is memories. We're talking about explaining memories today. So if you're just joining, please do make sure to like the video, as always. Very, very helpful. Share it too, all that good stuff. But I'm going to take the mouse for a second and go to our next point. Okay. So next, I want to introduce some phrases that you can use to introduce like a shared memory, a memory that you shared or a memory that you think somebody else has experience with. So I want to talk about 2 expressions. First, I'll just show them both to you at the same time. So these expressions are, do you remember when? And do you remember the time? Do you remember when and do you remember the time? So maybe I assigned some of you, if you follow me on Twitter, I assigned a little bit of review homework. There's a song called Remember the Time that I thought would be a great way to practice today's grammar point. If you looked at that, great, because we're going to talk about that a lot today. So do you remember when and do you remember the time? So you can use these expressions for experiences that you shared with another person in the past. So you can use this one, do you remember when, also commonly, to talk about like world events or to talk about news items in the past as well. So please keep that in mind. Okay. So you could say, for example, like, do you remember when we went camping last year? Or do you remember the time we had that crazy party, for example? So these are ways that we can use these expressions. But as I said, in the song that I was referencing. So if you want to check it out, it's Michael Jackson's Remember the Time. It's a perfect way to practice this though. So in that, it's a series of questions and examples about memories. So it's like, do you remember a time plus an example of the memory? So I want to talk about one of the expressions that's used there. I'm going to steal a mouse, sorry, for just a second, sorry. And then we'll go back to it, sorry. Okay, thanks. So I want to talk about an expression where we use do you remember plus how plus a past activity expression. So for example, like, do you remember how we used to go drinking every weekend? Or do you remember how you used to stay up so late every night, for example? So in these expressions, how means the way of doing something. So we use these expressions to mean like, they're kind of like an introduction to the memory. So we use them sort of to introduce a shared experience and then give more details about it. So I want to try to practice this with our next question for today. So let's use a pattern like this, like a do you remember when question. To think back to your childhood again. And please remember, let's use past tense to respond to this question, past tense. So the next question is going to be, if we're ready, I think. Yep, there it is. Okay. So the question will be, do you remember when you were in elementary school? What did you like to do? What did you like to do? So hopefully you can remember elementary school. Like, yeah, I remember elementary school well, meaning I can remember it easily. I remember details, for example. Or you could say, I don't really remember elementary school. That's fine. But hopefully you remember elementary school. So you can say then, in response to this question, what did you like to do? You can say, I liked plus a noun phrase. So some activity you liked to do. So for example, yeah, I remember elementary school well. I liked reading books. I liked reading books. I especially liked reading fantasy books. I loved that. I loved that when I was in elementary school. So do you remember when you were in elementary school? What did you like to do? What did you like to do is our second question for today. So, what did you like to do in elementary school? I liked reading books. I liked reading books late at night, like in my bed. I would read books in my bed with like a flashlight, and my parents would get mad at me. I liked staying up late. I still like staying up late, actually. So, what did you like to do when you were in elementary school? What did you like to do? Okay, some people are saying, do you remember when? Do you remember when questions? Yes, good. Good. So, but when you were in elementary school, what did you like to do? What did you like to do? I liked reading books late at night. Okay. I remember how me and my best friends played, remember to use past tense. So I liked is in past tense. So for example, my friends and I played football and watched Tom and Jerry. So past tense, played football, watched Tom and Jerry. Again, okay, good. I liked to play with my friends. Very nice. Moni says, I liked to study. I like to study. Good. On Facebook too, I like to play hide and seek. Hi, Masaya. Okay. I liked, don't forget this D, don't forget this poor D. I liked to play volleyball. Good. I liked to watch my teacher explain lessons. Okay. I like to play. Hide and seek is a game. We'll use, I liked to play hide and seek. Play hide and seek. Good. Tariq says, I liked to study. I liked to study. Very nice. I remember elementary school, I played. So many of you are using the progressive tense. So a lot of you are saying for example, some of you are saying, I like playing or whatever. I'm seeing many of you are using this pattern to respond to this question. Why is this wrong? This is wrong because thanks, Kyle. Like is present tense. I'm asking you a past tense question. What did you like to do? Past tense, what did you like to do? So, not like playing. I like playing, but I like playing. No, you can use I liked playing. So you can use the progressive, yes. You can use the progressive after your past tense. So it should not be, sorry, Kyle, it should not be present tense. It should be I liked playing. Sorry, Kyle. It should be I liked playing. Okay? So please use past tense. So still many of you okay, good. I liked to play football and watch Jim Carrey's Mask. Good one. Good. I liked to play badminton as well. I liked your videos. Why, thank you. Good. I liked to play cards. Good. Yuta says I like to eat sushi because I'm Japanese. Haha. Well, I also like to eat sushi and I am not Japanese. Okay. I liked playing football. Luan says I just remember I liked eating glue. You actually liked eating glue? I've heard of kids who do that, but I've never understood the interest in eating glue there. That's very funny. Thank you. Okay. That's very funny. Holly says, I didn't like anything. Oh, really? Nothing? You didn't like anything in elementary school? Sad face. Yeah, sad face, for sure, for sure. I liked to sleep in the classroom. Good, okay. Everyone is now using the past tense. Good, good, good. Excellent, excellent. Okay. Caesar says, I liked eating my sandwich at lunchtime. Me too. That is still the highlight of my day, is eating sandwiches. Okay. Okay. Oh, you guys are very funny. All right. Very, very funny. But it is 20 minutes past the hour. So that means it's time for another break. Okay. So if you are just joining us, or if you missed it before, or just would like a reminder, the crew has a really cool daily deal for you guys until, what, for 2 more days only? But every day is a different deal. But last week there was a really, really popular 55% off premium subscription deal, and they planned to do it only one day, but I guess a lot of people liked it, so they've made it for one more time. Today is like the real last day. So if you go to the link below the video on YouTube or above the video on Facebook, you can get to the page where you can pick up your 55% off premium subscription. It's for 2 years. It's for 2 years. So I think if you visit the website, you can find, as you see on this screen, the holiday deals. So these are the specials for this year's holiday season. But you can find the 55% off deal today. I think today is the last day, so please go check that out. That was, a lot of people, I guess, were interested in that, so they decided to do it one more time. So please go pick that up today. I think that's it. That's today. So check the link below the video on YouTube and above the video on Facebook. Yep. Kyle is hovering over the link there. Yep, there it is, light blue. Yay. Okay. So check that out today, and of course, I think you can check that page for other deals. Maybe there are 2 more days of deals, of separate deals too. So check it out. Check out that page if there's anything else you would like to find. But I think the premium subscription is the best deal because everything is included in that. So please go check that out. Looks good. Looks good. All right. Yes, I am really live, Fernando. Okay. Oh, apparently less than 3 hours left. Oh my. So be quick. Go quick. Okay. It is time then to go back to our last point for today. I'm going to steal the mouse again. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Reading my notes. Okay. Great. So on to our last point for today, a grammar point for today. Also, if you are just joining us, please make sure to like the video. Very helpful, as always. Okay, but if you're just joining live, we are talking today about how to explain your memories, So we've talked about some expressions to introduce your memories, but I want to talk about 2 grammar points for explaining your memories. So I mentioned that there's a really a perfect song for talking about this, a song called Remember the Time. And I want to borrow 2 lyrics from that song to illustrate, to explain our next grammar point. Okay, these 2 lines are, first, do you remember, so we just studied this one, yeah? Do you remember how we used to talk? So here I want to focus on used to. Then the next line is an example. We'd stay on the phone from night till dawn. So night meaning nighttime and dawn until the sun comes up. This we'd means we would. So these are the 2 points I want to focus on for the last part of this lesson. When to use used to and would to talk about your habits. So we have 2 points here. Used to, which we see in this sentence, this lyric, and would, we would here. These are both used to talk about past habits. But what's the difference? Kind of difficult, right? How do we know if we should use used to or would? So a key difference. We can only use would. We can only use would if we already understand it's a past tense situation. So we need to know that the situation or the conversation is about something in the past. About some, yeah, can we see that one again, Kyle? Sorry, yes, that one, please. So here, we know it's a past tense situation because there's this question. Do you remember how we used to talk? This is like the introduction. We're talking about a past tense situation. So to give the example, we would, this we'd, remember, is we would stay on the phone. So we can use would in this case because we understand it's a past tense situation to begin with. So when you want to use would, you need to make sure that you and your listener or everybody in the situation understands it's a past tense situation, or must understand that it's a past tense situation. So everybody must know. Okay, I have limited space on the board. So to use would, I'll put it here. You must know it's a past tense situation. You must know it's a past tense situation. However, used to, we can use anytime. So we don't have to know that it's a past tense situation. Like I can begin a conversation with used to. Like I used to play video games every day. That's fine. I can begin my conversation with used to. I cannot begin with I would play video games every day. That's not correct because I haven't introduced a past tense situation here. So please introduce a past tense situation here before you use would. So I used to play video games every day. Great conversation starter or part of a conversation. But we cannot say I would play video games every day. So please keep these 2 points in mind when talking about would. And you can see here, after you use would, we would stay. So the verb follows would. We'd stay on the phone. We'd play video games every day. We'd go to a restaurant every month. So please use the verb after stay. So we would, I would, you would, to talk about your past habits. So both used to and would are used to talk about past habits. So here, must know it's a past tense situation. Anytime is used to. So let's practice this. Let's practice this with our last question today. We're almost out of time. Yeah. Last question today. What is something you used to do? Please share an extra detail with the word would. What's something you used to do? One. And please share an extra detail with would, like we just talked about this here. So, for example, oops, I've lost my example sentences. Okay, so for example, I could say, I used to play golf. Every spring, every spring, I'd practice with my teammates after school. So, I used to introduce, I used to play golf, verb phrase. I'd practice with my teammates after school. Okay. Or another one. I used to have dinner with my family a lot. We'd go out and celebrate when my brother and I got good grades. So, what's something you used to do? What's something you used to do? What's something I used to do? So when I was a little kid, I used to go to school every day. Okay, so I used to go to school every day. Then let's try to use would. Let's try to use would to give a detail, share a detail about this activity. So 2 points here, 2 points. What did you do? What's something you used to do? So you don't do it now. Plus a detail. Plus a detail. Okay. So I used to blah, blah, blah. I used to, in my case, I used to play golf, or I used to have dinner with my family a lot. I used to blah, blah, blah. I used to eat onion, but nowadays I eat onion and garlic. I used to eat onion is fine, but one of the key points of used to is this action here, this verb phrase. You don't do this action now. You don't do this action now. So I used to, oh, Dan Ellison, fantastic. Okay, I used to read comic books. I'd read a lot of different kinds of comics. Good. Perfect, perfect. So that was really nice. 2 points there. Fantastic. Thanks. Okay. I used to play soccer every day. I'd eat after that. Perfect. Very nice. Okay. I used to watch cartoons with my cousin. We'd play while watching. Perfect. Nice one. Nice one. I used to play piano. So here, just the regular verb. I used to play piano. I'd play for hours. Nice one, Nelson. Thank you. I used to swim. I'd go to the swimming pool every weekend. Oh, I'd have to go to the swimming pool every weekend. Nice. More complex grammar. Okay. I used to go to church every weekend. Good. So like I'd blah, blah, blah. So add some detail with would to practice these 2 points. I used to work to make money. I thought, okay. Do you no longer work? You don't work anymore? So remember, used to sounds like you no longer do this action. No longer do this action. Okay. I used to play a lot. I'd play video games, maybe again and again, for example. Or I used to play soccer. I'd kick the ball into the neighbor's house. Good. Okay. Very, very nice. Very nice. So please keep these 2 points in mind when talking about your memories, your past habits. Okay. They're used a bit differently. All right, but we are out of time, unfortunately, every day. We're out of time, unfortunately, today, so I need to wrap it up. Thanks for your nice example sentences, though. Sounds really good. All right, but we have to finish, unfortunately. So thanks very much for joining for this lesson, of course, and if you want, you can check out that song to help you practice your memory explanations if you like. But a couple of announcements. Number one, next week we'll have our last live stream of 2017. This year's last live stream will be next week. So please join us. Please don't miss it. We're going to talk about gifts. So ways to give and receive gifts. I think it's the holiday season in many countries right now. So we're going to talk about some ways to talk about gifts. So please join in. If you can't watch live, at least, watch us later. Send us a comment just so we can connect at the end of the year. It would be really, really good. So that will be next week, Wednesday, December 20th. 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. That's Eastern Standard Time is New York City time. So please check us out next week, Wednesday, December 20th, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to talk about gifts. So last one for this year. So please join us for that. And send us a comment if you can't join live, just so we can wrap up the year together. So that's all. Of course, thank you for joining us for this lesson. If you want to watch it back, great. Please feel free to do so. And also send your questions in on Facebook and on YouTube. That would be great. We'll check them and I'll try to answer some in next week's live stream. So thanks very much for watching. Thank you for liking and sharing the video. It's very helpful. And I will see you next week for our last episode of the year. In the meantime, of course, I think you're going to see you have a couple more hours to get the 55% off premium subscription. So I think you get like all the good stuff on the site, like audio and PDF and video lessons and worksheets and an audio recorder. There's a ton of stuff. I think you can read about it on the page. So please check that out. I'm gonna go. You go check out that page below the video. The link is on YouTube, or above the video on Facebook is the link. So thank you so much for watching. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your night. I will see you again next week. Bye bye.